What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Backstop Andy. Yeah, Michael, I know you weren't ready.
No
Gotta keep you on your
introduction?
toes. No,
Where's
I
our
gotta keep.
intro?
Listen. I forget sometimes. Here, you want an intro, Mike?
I do. We have to have the intro so I can do
Listen,
my little
listen
pre-dance.
for everybody on Colorcast that can't hear the intro. This is because of Michael. You know, I like to include everybody. Michael wants to exclude you, but here we go. Our beautiful countdown. See, Michael, here's my other thing, right? You be doing that little dancey dance of yours. The people
Uh-huh.
can't even see you because it's blocked out.
Oh, that's because I do the dance because it's blocked out. If it wasn't, I would not do the dance. I
So
mean,
you're
come on,
soft,
man.
honestly. Kind of soft.
If you touch my belly, you'd understand. It's pretty soft. Let me just tell you.
Oh, Michael, you were going to tell me. I know. I know.
So, how we doing today, Mr. Anthony,
Uh,
aka
you know,
Connie, aka
you know,
Slim
Michael.
Shady?
Michael, I never work long shifts, honestly. Like, I don't know why. Like, it just never happens. Like, I'm always like 4 hours or like 6 hours max. And
Because
I
you're part
also
time,
never, well, yeah, but I can still work 8 hour shifts.
right?
And then also, I never close at work. Like, I haven't closed for probably like 6 months. No lie.
Oh, okay.
Today, I work an 8 hour closing shift. I was like, bro, what are we doing here?
It's
So,
pitiful.
a little weird for me. A little weird. A nice little 12 to 8. So, my entire day, my off day from school, gone. But hey, who am I to complain? Money's money, right?
That's right. Well, I woke up this morning at like 3
Well,
a.m.
that's a good start.
Thank you, with a headache, and I went
That's
back to
not a good
sleep.
start.
Like it woke me up. It was so bad. But woke up again as the kids were leaving for school. Took some medicine. I was like, you know what? I ain't got to be at work until 12 anyways. Went back to sleep. I said, let me just set my alarm for 11, just so in case somehow I do sleep that late. But there's no way. At 10:50, I wake up. I'm like, wow, okay, my headache's gone, so that's great. So let me just look at my phone, see the schedule, see what time everyone else is coming in work, who I close with, and I look at the schedule and it says, hey, Michael, you're supposed to be at work at 10 a.m. Oh,
Now,
snap.
that's tough.
So I called and talked to one of the team leads that was at work. He said, yeah, we were wondering about you. Just thought maybe, schedules got switched and you were supposed to close and I didn't know it. I said, no, but I guess I'll be closing now. So went straight to work, got to work about 11:30, and I stayed to 8, and I didn't even take a lunch just because I was late and I felt bad. So I ate while I was there and kept on working. So, got to do some hard stuff sometimes to help everyone out. So I rushed on right at
Michael,
8
it'd be
o'clock,
like that.
basically, and here we are.
It'd be like that. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So listen, people. We have our regularly scheduled programming, of course. Do a nice little top 10 list. Michael, I don't know if you've seen any of the Matt Harvey stuff and like the Tyler Skaggs situation with the Angels.
I've heard a little bit, but I haven't been able to like research it or anything. Just heard that he basically said he's done some stuff, and that's all I've ever seen.
Yeah,
So I'm sure
Michael,
we'll get into it.
I was going to say we'll get into it because I think it hits home for me more because I live in New York and I remember what
Okay.
Matt Harvey was. Michael, I'm not out
Batman.
here doing cocaine. Calm down.
I didn't say that. I just gave you a look.
So like I remember the Dark Knight like phase of everything, and it was
Now
like
we
for
know why it
people
was the Dark
outside
Knight.
of it, like for people outside of New York, I don't know if you understand like the level that it really was. Like it really was a thing. So I want to get into that a little bit. And then listen, I titled the episode on Colorcast "Bad News Again." You titled it on here. How long does it take to be back, Michael? We're gonna have to get into the lockout again. It sounds
It's
like a
really
broken
depressing.
record at this point. No, we sound like broken records at this point. We do, but we got to do what we got to do. But
I'll be honest with you. Some stuff that was said today on Twitter, it almost made me mad when I read it, and we'll get into it on it.
oh no, it's annoying is a nice word. Just put it. All right, Michael.
Yeah.
We got our top 10 left fielders. We'll see how this goes. I don't even know how I feel about my list. In all honesty, people, I waited a little bit to do my list because
Pitiful.
like I said, Michael, I got home
Unprepared.
from first. No. First of all, we didn't decide what list we were doing until like 7 o'clock.
I don't know what you're talking
Then
about.
I get home. I get home at 8:15. I got to
Mhm.
eat some food.
Pitiful.
Watch a little YouTube. So then I made my list. But we're gonna
There,
survive. We'll be
there it
okay.
is.
Had to. I had a beautiful Michael prime rib. Beautiful.
Ooh, that sounds nice. So I went to the store the other day for our family, and my wife said, "Hey, pick up some meat so we can have some suppers throughout the week." And I bought these beautiful looking steak tips. I'm like, you know what? Well, I've got a griddle. It's going to be pretty one of these days. I like to fry that up and,
Yeah.
and cook us some. Sorry, my dog's going crazy. I don't know if you hear it. Something just fell over on my porch. I heard the wind knock it over. But anyways, turns out it was beef stew tips. Doesn't work that way. Got to read the label.
Never even. What was it?
Beef stew tips.
Interesting development. See, I don't cook,
Yeah.
so I really wouldn't know what the difference is anyway.
That's me
But
neither. It was tips, but apparently it wasn't steak tips. It was beef stew tips. So she made a stew out of it.
I came into the house to a beautiful prime rib that my nan sent over. So,
Gotta love that nan.
nobody I love more, honestly. All right, but let's get into the list. Michael, why don't you start us off here?
Okay, we'll just go quick through these. Number 10, I got Dodgers. Pollock. Am I saying that right?
Pollock.
Pollock. Okay. Number 9, I've got Brantley for Houston. At number 8, I've got Yelich. Back off. Don't hate at me. And at 7, I've got, which is kind of funny that I have 2 on the Dodgers team, but I went ahead and put Taylor on here as well. But at 6, I got Jimenez from the White Sox, and I'll stop there.
Okay, so I started it off number 10 with
Hold up.
I was just about to read it, Michael.
Okay, go ahead.
I know Christian said, "What's up, goats?"
Goats. Thank you, Christian. We appreciate that.
I'm trying out here. Trying.
Game
I started off with a little bit
game.
I started off with a little bit of home cooking, Michael.
Okay.
Of course it's because Stanton finally plays the outfield. Stanton is playing left field again. Had a great season last year. In fact, the last month of the season, probably the only reason we made the playoffs. And then tried his hardest to win that wild card game as well. Missed 2 home runs by about an inch. So I got Stanton at number 10. Michael, I got Eloy Jimenez down at 9. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, that's fine.
You missed a little. I believe he missed a little bit of time this year, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was him. I want to say it was. It might not have been. I mixed people up. Shoot.
I mean, let's be honest. Those are 162 games. I'm sure he missed a little.
Yeah, Michael, I got you. I got your boy. I got
Don't you
Mr.
put him
Jesse
down
Winker.
That low?
Oh yeah,
That's pitiful.
that's fine with me. I love
Pitiful.
I love it. Big fan of it.
I mean, he was in. I mean, it's okay. It's your list. It's okay. I mean, he was just MVP running candidate until he got hurt. And was out for like 3 months, but it's okay.
Well,
At least he's on your top 10.
Michael, 3 months is a long time,
It is, and he was still in the race.
And then what was that? Number 10, 9, 8, 7. I got Brian Reynolds.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. And then I have Yelich at 6.
Okay. Can you hear it raining on your end?
I can't hear it raining. No, I cannot.
Okay, good, because it is pouring. All right, so let's hear your 5 and 4.
I put Brantley at 5.
Okay.
And then number 4, I have Yordan Alvarez of the Houston Astros.
Wow. Their list is very different, but that's cool. I like it. I have Schwarber at 5 and Rays. I'm going to try to say this. A Rosaranero?
Not even a little bit. A Rosarena.
A Rosarena. Yes.
There we go.
And then I'll go ahead and say my 3. I have yours truly, Jesse Winker at 3.
Okay. I see, Michael. I'm a little different here. I got Tyler O'Neill at number 3.
Okay.
I have Mr. Rosarena at number 2.
Okay.
And then number 1, I got Teoscar Hernandez.
Ooh, okay. Well, see, with you going Stanton at 10, I actually went Gallo at 2 here.
You put Gallo at – I don't even have Gallo on the list.
You don't. And I actually think he's going to have a great season full time with the Yankees with the short and field on the
Fine with
corners.
me.
And then I have O'Neal at 1.
Okay.
So
So you don't have Teoscar Hernandez on the list.
I don't.
I have him at 1. And you got Gallo at 2, and I don't even have him on my list. See, Michael,
No.
in my original list, I forgot about Brantley, and I
Mhm.
think he's unbelievable. In a day where contact hitting is not a thing,
Right.
he's actually very good at it. And I forgot him. So I actually did have Gallo at number 10 and Stanton at 9, but I forgot Brantley, so I
Okay.
had to bump him off the list.
Okay.
Now listen, what I
So
thoroughly enjoy.
So you think Stanton is better than Gallo playing
Oh,
left?
absolutely.
Okay.
Like
See, I still consider
Gallo's
Stanton to
don't
be
get me wrong.
DH.
Don't get me wrong. Gallo is definitely a better fielder. Like
Right.
not
Okay.
even close. But I mean, he batted like I think he ended the season hitting 199. So
Okay.
that's below the Mendoza line. First of all, yeah, he can hit a lot of home runs, but Stanton's probably good for about a 255, 260, and the same amount of home runs,
Mhm.
and can play a pretty decent left field. So
So
I
who
had
do
to
you
give
think
it
will
to
be
him.
the DH then?
I think it'll still be Stanton, and I think Gallo will play
Okay.
left field. No.
Okay.
But like, it's different now that it's not landlocked. Like before,
Right.
like the first couple years with Stanton, it was like he's a DH. He's literally not playing anywhere else. No. And then this year it was like, Stanton, we kind of need you to play some other positions because you're kind of screwing us. Not gonna lie, you're kind of screwing us.
Hey. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and say this. It's not on the lockout yet, but on Facebook 2 minutes ago, MLB on Fox posted this. The MLB regular season start time of March 21st is in jeopardy. We know that. But here it posted, MLB informs the MLBPA that the new CBA must be agreed upon February 28th to start the 2022 regular season on time. So maybe they're getting a little more urgency here to thinking, hey, if we don't have this done by the end of the month, it won't start on time. Actually, when I read that as you were talking, I thought they were saying we will have to have a deal done by then. So got a little more excited than what I probably should have.
No, I don't know. I still find it a little bit exciting because, do
we want to just go ahead and go to the
lockout?
lockout?
I was gonna say we can just go into the lockout.
Okay.
We'll just go. Because at least you're setting a date now that you know at that point you're going to start missing games. And I think that's an important thing because, listen, I tweeted it out from my account today. They met for 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
How are you in the middle of a lockout and you met for 15 minutes? Listen, meeting is free. It's free.
We are almost at 15 minutes right now. And they've concluded it, Like, it didn't start right on time when everyone, like they said, okay, the meeting started. Okay, welcome, guys. Here, pass out this stuff. So this is what's going to go on the meeting. Billy's about to come in here shortly. So there was probably, even though it says 15 minutes, 5 minutes was probably of just like an introduction, grab your water, sit down, get around the table. So it was probably even really shorter than 15 minutes. And it really pisses me off to think that they went 15 minutes on a meeting to discuss starting the season. Like, you're a day or 2 days late now from when the pitchers and catchers were supposed to report. And you have a 15 minutes. Like, I put on our Backstop Banter that they're making fans want to switch sports. And I truly feel that way. Like, when I read it, it's like, well, screw baseball. I could care less this year because they don't care about the fans. All they care about is the money they making or the money that they have to spend. Granted, I understand you want to spend money and you want to make money. You want to spend as less as you can. But there comes a times when you got to say, hey, we've got to at least give more than 15 minutes to talk about a deal here. And it really ticked me off when I read that. 15 minutes.
See, that's the thing that annoys me too. It's because
15 minutes.
It's 15 minutes. And Michael, meeting with each other is free. It's not like they're not, they're not spending a bunch of money to meet with each other. You can meet with each other for free. So even if, and as annoying as it is to say, even if you faked meeting with each other, you couldn't have made it more than 15 minutes.
Right.
Because at that point, like I tweeted out, I said it's a slap in the face of the fans. Like everybody's sitting here, the diehard baseball fan, maybe even the casual fan that just likes going to a game every once in a while, or just likes to play something on in the background while they're doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're sitting here waiting for a season, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll get to it eventually." Like I don't know how you can have that mindset, especially, and this is why I said I almost wish Manfred just didn't say anything. He said, "I'm optimistic and my glass half full that the season's going to start on time." Because now you're going to look like a liar and a bigger idiot than you already are.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to find some notes. Maybe I took a picture of it on my phone here, but it was talking about the numbers that were offered. And what's crazy too is that this 15 minutes happened after the MLB proposed a 130-page document to them. Like, how do you have a 15-minute meeting over 130 pages? I just don't. I don't see how you can do that. There's no way everything was discussed. Like it had to be like, hey, you all decide to come meet us anywhere close on the floor for the minimum what everyone can make. No, we haven't. We're still here. All right, see you. Like that's how I feel this meeting
No,
went.
that is how it went. 15 minutes. That's all it could have done.
Yeah, it's
And
really pitiful.
And Michael, here's the other thing too, which is what really annoys me as well. Just reading this article, it's like the title is literally owners have the power to end the work stoppage and start spring training, but they refuse to use it. Because Michael, I didn't even know this until a couple of days ago, and which is another reason I'm annoyed. The owners can start the season because you got to remember, this isn't a strike. Like the players are not refusing to play. The MLB and the MLB owners locked the players out. So that's a completely different thing than a strike. We're not waiting on the players to, they're not refusing, they're not picketing and, saying
Right.
we're not playing, we're not doing this. The owners locked them out. So with that being said, just reading this, the owners could simply lift the lockout, have the players report to spring training and continue to hammer out the details of a new collective bargaining agreement with the players. There's precedent for this. Everyone would be together in spring training too, feasibly making the meetings easier between leaders of the two sides, more convenient. The owners could even claim it's a sign of good faith. Because here's the thing, Michael, they can technically lift the lockout and play the season under the old CBA.
Really?
Like you can technically do that.
Until they strike, right? That would be the next move. Like, okay, we're going to strike because
I don't know if the players would. That's when you get into tricky situations because I think everybody right now is still on the side of the players. I think a lot of people are still on the side of the players where it's like, okay, we know that it's kind of screwed up that they're manipulating, your playing time and they're keeping you in the minors because they don't want to pay you for this amount of time. And,
right.
Arbitration is kind of stupid. And we think it's also bad that middle of the road players can't get signed because, they don't want to go over the salary cap or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Right. Mm-hmm. So I think we're there now.
Missed that in a third.
You're so annoying. So I think we're there now, but correct me if I'm wrong here, Michael.
I will. Don't worry.
If the owners lifted the lockout and we're like, okay, let's play games and we'll negotiate as we go. And then the players are like, no, we're not playing either. Now I think you're going to have people start to turn because even though, everybody, you're siding with billionaires. I was going to say, you're siding with the billionaires now. There's going to be some people that are like, oh, you spoiled millionaires. They lifted the lockout and you guys still aren't going to play. I work my job for 40 hours a week. Which, by the way, I hate those people.
Well, hold up. I'm one of those people. What are you talking about? I work 40 hours a week. And they're complaining about what they make?
Michael, we're not in the same stratosphere. Go be a professional athlete and then come talk to me.
I am a professional retail person.
Michael, I got a question for you, though. Anybody paying $60 to watch you from about 500 feet away put stuff on the shelf?
They should.
Do they, though?
I'm worth it.
I just need to know if they do.
Maybe I should strike.
Go ahead. Go see if you can get $1 million contract.
I know what. I'm going to lock the doors. No, we ain't working until we get more money. Like everyone that comes in after me, their floor should be raised. I like that.
You know, Michael, by the way, speaking of
Be a
work real quick, because
pioneer.
I'm annoyed, Tell me
Man,
how they
you're
hired.
annoyed a lot, dude.
No. But Michael, I think you would be annoyed too. Listen to this. Ready?
Oh,
They
here we
hired
go.
a kid who makes more money than me, and he just got hired, and I've been there for 2 years.
Ooh, yes.
Okay,
The
see?
the
Now you
old
understand.
why you don't talk about your pay, which I think is dumb in
No. You're supposed to talk about
business.
your pay, Michael. You're supposed to.
No, they tell you not to
Yeah, well,
because it's
guess what, Michael? That's
unethical.
against the law. Against the law.
Exactly, because now it becomes equal. Like now you need to go to him and say, "Hey, listen, like,
Oh,
sorry,
trust me,
oh,
Michael.
what a
That
catch."
that ship has sailed
Yeah. Are you
because
quitting or you're making more
oh
money?
no. I'm not quitting, but I'm well, I got the Renegade stuff coming up anyway, you know?
Exactly. So, real quick, Corey's in here saying, "Hope there is a season." Yes,
I think we all hope there's a season.
I hope there's a full season. I don't
That's the
think
thing.
we will have
Like
a full season.
Manfred said it would be disastrous if they missed any games. And then you meet for 15 minutes. That's what I don't understand.
Here's
You can't say both
okay.
things, Michael.
I'm gonna ask you this because I don't know how this happened. I just want to play this out with you. Okay. There's 3 or 4 different ways. Let's see here. 15-minute meeting today is insulting. Perry says on Colorcast.
It
Perry, of
is.
course, and Corey, thank you for joining on Colorcast. Guys who are watching our stream, get on Colorcast as well. Download the app and just listen to us because you don't have to see Connie's ugly face. But you
By
can
the way, I'm
follow us all
beautiful. Beautiful.
USN, and you will find everyone with the Unwrapped Sports Network because
Including
we all
Michael,
have it.
unfortunately.
Yes. But anyways, what I think, okay, let's work this out. I'm a player because, I'm obviously more athletic than you are, so we can tell.
Yeah.
And you're an
That's
owner,
just
okay?
That's okay. I
So
love billions of dollars.
so let's just say I come in and say, we're sitting down to this meeting. You tell me whatever you want to do differently. And I just say, we're not doing that. We deserve more. We're out. So if I get up and leave, like, what do you do? Like, do you just get up and leave too? Or do you sit there and be like, hey, listen, this is what just happened. We're still here sitting trying to make this thing happen. Or do you just get up and leave too? Because in my head, like 15
Depends on
minutes,
what optics you want.
because to me, it's like everyone just left, It's like, they said it and they're like, okay, there's nothing else we can discuss on. We'll see you guys later. Like, okay, see you all. Like to me, as a player or whatever, whoever left first, I'd be like, okay, no, let's sit here. Let's get them on the phone while we're here and say, hey, no, we are here to work this out because we want to play for our fans. And then it puts the other person, whoever left, in a bad position, make them look like the villain too. So I don't know why that isn't happening. Like, do you think that is or no?
No, I do think that they're both just walking out. I do because Michael, I said this from the beginning of the lockout, and it was because I was reading up on it. They hate each other.
They really do.
That's not like I'm not joking around. I'm not making light of it. They hate each other with a passion. And Michael, you know what it is, kind of.
What's that?
Were you ever gonna say you were gonna bring out the garbage one time? And then all of a sudden your wife was like, go take out the garbage, okay? And then it was like, you know what? I was just about to do that. But now that you told me to, I don't want to do it. Because
That
now you're
never
telling
happened,
me.
Gary. Never.
Guys, Michael's wife is probably listening. Just, keep calm. But all right, fine. I'll use the example for myself, Like if I was already about to do something and then you tell me to do it, now I don't want to do it because guess what? I was doing it anyway and now you annoyed me. And I feel that's what I feel like it is. It's the owners being like, okay, we're here to negotiate. And the player's like, well, we're here to negotiate too. But since you want to negotiate, I don't want to negotiate. Like, what are you talking about?
You really think it's like that?
I swear, I really do.
I think it's almost the players do not want to negotiate because their level of gap is so big. It's like there's no point even discussing until you get closer to this. Like there's no point even negotiating, which I think is okay if this would have been done in December. But we're in February now. Like you should have made these points, these stern walkaways, walkouts, if you will, in December instead of saying, we're just not going to meet until the new year. And then, everything's just like nonchalant here. It's just been very lackadaisical. Like, Okay, there's not even another scheduled meeting yet. Like,
I
okay,
think
15
it is
minutes.
Saturday. I thought I saw that there was one for Saturday.
Okay, that
I
is
think.
that.
I mean, I can look it up.
I had seen something that said that there's no plans to meet in the future right now, and that was probably a couple hours, or probably 6 hours ago, I guess. But I don't know. Is it not harder to get everyone together more often for these short meetings than it is to actually sit there for an hour and talk?
I mean, you would think that if you're gonna go and set up a meeting and have everybody come and do whatever, that you would at least want to not have one that's 15 minutes. Because then at that point, it's like we could have, what it's like, Michael. Like everything. This could have been an email instead of going to a meeting. It could have been an
It's a
email. It really
memo,
could have been.
right? It could have been a memo. Like I wanted to make jokes earlier at work today, but nobody would have thought it was funny because nobody talks baseball with me because it's Tractor Supply. But I was like, when I've seen that it was 15 minutes, I was like, I'll last longer than 15 minutes. Come on.
Well, I mean, now Michael's lying to our people.
So I mean, that's how awful this was. Like it's nothing. And I'm to the point now where I want to know who's at these meetings.
That's what I want to know too.
So we can kind of start placing blame a little bit. Like we hear MLB and MLB PA, and that's all we hear. Like who's representing what and who's saying what on this?
I mean, I would assume it's the presidents for both. And obviously the president for the MLB is Manfred. I don't know who.
I don't think Manfred would be the only sole person speaking for the business people, though. Do you? Like, I mean, I would say some owners are there.
Oh no, absolutely.
Them. Okay, so it's not like 5 people. Like, surely goodness, there's like at least 10 on each side at these meetings.
All right, so Tony Clark is the president of the Players Association, and then Rob Manfred, I would assume.
MLBPA. I'm gonna write this crap down. I'm
See, look at Josh. He said, first thing I hear when I join is I last longer than 15 minutes. Thought this was a baseball show.
See? And that's coming from me too, Josh.
I was going to say, that's coming from Michael, Mr. I can't say any bad words on here because of Michael.
Well, I appreciate that. But.
Well, Michael, no, imagine.
Do what?
I was going to say, I was going to pretend to curse, but, you weren't looking, so it didn't, do anything.
Oh, okay. Okay, so who is the owner or the president?
That would be Mr. Tony Clark for the MLBPA.
Okay, Tony Stark. Gotcha.
Hey, you could do that too.
All right. Who does it say anybody as far as who's going to these meetings for the MLB?
No, it doesn't. I can look it up. Who negotiates the MLB
and Josh
CBA?
Glad to hear from you, man. I miss you.
Let's see. When is this article from? What is this from? Dan Halem and Bruce Meyer led negotiators. Wow. Negotiators had a side meeting after the main meeting ended. That conversation was about 20 minutes. Said to be candid, MLB will get back to MLBPA at next meetings as to next meeting scheduling. That was from today. That was tweeted today.
Okay.
So Dan Halem and Bruce Meyer, I've never heard of them ever.
Bruce Meyer?
I have no idea who these people are.
That sounds familiar to me for some reason.
Michael, would you like to hear the two main, as quoted in this article, the two main thrusts of the players' latest proposal?
No wonder it didn't last long. Keep going.
Let's see. One is the union has dropped its request to lower the arbitration from 3 years to 2 years. Rather, they've offered up an alternative framework in which 80% of players with between 2 and 3 years of MLB service time would be eligible for salary arbitration. Under a system known as Super 22, 22% of players with between 2 and 3 years of MLB service time were eligible for arbitration under the most recent CBA, as well as players with at least 3 years of service times. In essence, this proposal would greatly expand that Super 2 pool. So instead of taking the 3 years of arbitration, they would go to 2 years. Or no, they wanted 2 years, but they're just going to leave it at 3. And I guess they want that 22% up to 80% for whatever that thing is. I've never heard of Super 2 thing.
Super 22.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that. And then also, let's see, players have asked that the bonus pool for pre-arbitration players, those players who typically make the MLB minimum salary, be expanded from 100 million in their prior proposal to 115 million. That growth of the pool reflects the fact that the union has reduced the number of players that would be eligible for arbitration under its current proposed framework. As well, the union is now proposing to distribute the pool to a total of 150 players as opposed to 30 players in previous versions.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that and that's the thing too. Like, in a way, I can almost understand owners, almost, because it's like, you want to go from 22 to 80% of people, and I mean, see, you want and what was it? What was that last number I just said? You want to go from 30 players to 150? Like, it's not like you want to go, oh yeah, listen, we have 30 right now. Can we get to 40? It's like, no, we want 150. Like, that's kind of an increase there.
Yeah. Okay, here's something from Jeff Passan. Yes, there
Passan?
we go.
Love me some Jeff Passan, by the way.
Yeah, I love following him on Twitter. 23 minutes ago, he said, while exact plans are not finalized, MLB and the MLB Players Association intend to hold multiple bargaining sessions, perhaps every day, as early as Monday, sources told to ESPN. Multiple owners and players expect to fly in for sessions leading up to the MLB's stated February 28th deadline. Then he went on to go on here. For everyone who's saying, why not sooner? One of the things that struck me for months now is a majority of the industry. There we go. People believed a deal could come together very quickly and that things will accelerate at end of February. Monday may not be ideal, but offers plenty of time. Okay.
So what's Monday?
Today's 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st. So a week.
So you're giving yourself a week.
Man.
You're giving I mean, hey, listen, I respect it because, like you said, there's going to be multiple bargaining sessions. Now, here's the thing. You can say that. Cool. Sounds great. Probably going to get you a nice little pat on the back from people. Michael, let me give you a hint here. Get close to the microphone, people. If these meetings last 15 minutes, I'm going to lose my mind.
Here. Okay.
Because you can't say I'm putting in full effort and then your full effort is saying hi to somebody.
Right. Well, what really pisses me off even in this more is, okay, you just had a 15-minute meeting, and before the day ends, now you're saying, oh, we're going to dedicate multiple bargaining sessions this coming week to try to make the deadline. So, like you're saying, screw today, 15 minutes is all we got, but we're about to get very serious in this. But first we need, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to do whatever we want. Then we're going to get serious. Like, why not now? Like, why even have the meeting?
The 3 months previous.
Yeah, like it's
like November, December, January didn't count. Just didn't feel like it. Because Michael, here's the other thing too. I always forget about it.
They will have a deal to give them 4 weeks, guarantee. Like they've already said, okay, because you've heard from the pitchers, even like yesterday when we talked on Twitter. Excuse me, with what was his name again? Walker.
Taiwan Walker. Yeah.
Yeah. They need 3 to 4 weeks. Every person that is in MLB front office know that they need 3 to 4 weeks. I guarantee now that this is coming out that we'll have a season and give them exactly 4 weeks for March 31st. They will get a deal done because.
Well, I thought you said it was the 21st that the season started.
March 31st, ain't it?
I don't know. I thought you said 21st when you were talking about when the season was supposed to start. Hold on, I can look it up. MLB opening day 2022. Oh, no, it is the 31st. Okay.
Yeah.
I could have swore you said 21st. All right. So, yeah, that's 4 weeks.
So, I guarantee they will get the deadline done. Guarantee it now.
You think that we're having a season?
Yeah. I think I'm really pissed off about it now because they've wasted all this time. How many times have I said pissed today? That they've had all this time they could get this thing together, and both of them probably already have their own little contract that they're ready to drop down that is their final. but they're just playing these stupid little games. Let me see what we can get going. Let's just do this. Who cares? Now it's crunch time. We can get this done in a week. They're so far separated from each other that we really think that in a week we could get this together unless it was already somewhat close to being done.
No. That's why I'm a little confuzzled as why you're so sure. I don't think that there's a chance that we start on time.
The way that he said that things could accelerate quickly, I don't know. I just feel like once that they finally realize we've got to get it done soon, which they are, I think they're going to go in on Monday, and they'll probably be in there a couple hours. And the first time that one of them gives, it's just all going to be a domino effect and fall straight into place.
I mean, hey, I pray almost that I'm wrong on this one.
I'm almost hope I'm wrong on this because I'm going to be really ticked off if they do not have a delay. Like, I'm almost upset if they can start early now because this was all just a waste of time.
I don't know about a waste of time. We got a universal DH.
I'm sorry, Josh. We did get a universal DH. Did they ever say anything about that dumb extra innings thing? Is there still 2 outs or a man on second or whatever it was?
I think that was only for like the shortened season and then last year.
Okay. Thank goodness.
I think that's gone. And what was the other thing that they changed? I thought they changed something else too. I don't remember what it was. But I know that I'm pretty sure that that's gone. Pretty sure.
Are they doing if they do a doubleheader, the 7 innings still?
Oh, no, I think that is still I think that's still going to be a thing.
Which I'm okay with that.
I don't really hate it either. It's a little high schoolish to me, slightly.
But at the same time, it's a long day if you're at a doubleheader.
Oh no, yeah, like I understand it too because the amount of pitchers you got to use. I mean, how much your players are out there and playing 2 games and don't want them to get hurt, obviously. So, but Michael,
you don't want them to work a 6-hour shift or anything.
Even after reading this article, more of it kind of gets into what we said as well. It says the risk from the owner side in lifting a lockout is a player strike, but we're already in the middle of a work stoppage. And really, if the owners lifted the lockout and then the players went on strike, it seems to me that the owners would have achieved their ultimate goal in making the players look like the bad guys. It's not like the owners were showing themselves desperate to get the players back on the field anyway. And then it says, remember, the ownership side claimed on December 2nd, that the purpose of the lockout was to jumpstart negotiations on a new CBA. Instead, they sat around doing nothing for 6 weeks. 6 weeks it took them to meet after they said that on December 2nd.
Who didn't meet? I want to know the juicy stuff now. Okay, so they said December 2nd they were ready to meet, but they waited 6 weeks.
They said on December 2nd that the reason they locked the players out was to jumpstart the negotiations, and then they never went to negotiate for the 6 weeks.
Right. So who didn't go? Like, I mean, did either side decide? Who? Like, hey, let's not meet yet. No, let's wait till January. Or like, did one of them reach out? Hey, we're ready to meet. We've got you locked out. We want to do this.
There will still be a man on second. They're arguing about a pitch clock. Is the other thing I think. I thought Manfred said that they were done with the runner on second because everybody hated it.
I hope so.
Of course, so stupid.
Is it AAA that they're doing the robot ump this year?
Yeah. Yeah, look, see, Rob Manfred says extra inning rule is all right. Other issues, blah, blah, blah. The runner on second rule, in which a runner is placed on second base at the start of every extra inning to attempt to encourage scoring, has led to blah, blah, blah. Where he literally said it. Oh, hold on. Okay, there we go. This was tweeted on July 13th of 2021. So it said Rob Manfred has also said the runner on second inning and extra inning rule is much less likely to become a long-term rule post-pandemic. So there you go. Hopefully that's true. As Michael says nothing. He's so focused right now looking something up.
No, I'm really just aggravated at this whole thing now. Like, the more and more I think about this.
I can't believe you really think that they're this close. Like, why would they lock the players out and do everything?
I don't think that either one of them are close, but I bet you that they have a deal on both in their pockets of like, okay, this is what we'll accept. This is what we already have written out that we think that the owners will do. And then the owners, on the other hand, okay, if it comes to the bare minimum and we want to get this thing started, this is what we'll have to do. And because we know the players will agree to this. Because if we're already going to release something on February 17th to say that on Monday that they may have meetings every day, and once things start, it'll escalate quickly. Come on, man. Like, this has been drug out way too long on this to not be doing anything. And now in 1 week, we're going to try to rush and get this done. Either it's going to be done very quick on Tuesday. I'll give Wednesday or Thursday. If it's not done, then we will be in lockout. And I hope, or we'll have a delayed season, in which I hope that's really it, because I'm going to be pissed that they didn't do this earlier. There you go, Josh. That was for you. 6th time. I'm about to make it PG-13 and go bigger.
You don't got to tell me. I don't know. I don't think that they're going to. I mean, I hope that they get a deal done in the week, because then we get a full season. Here's my other thing too. So you're telling me like February 28th is the day, right? So like,
yes.
So like, here's the thing. What if they come to a deal on the 31st
of February?
No, 31st. I meant to say the first.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess it would be delayed.
Like, exactly. Are you really going to delay the season a day? Like,
I don't know.
Let's see. What do we got? Problem is the players feel like they're getting screwed out of their contracts, going with the contracts going down like 5 or 6% since 2013. The owners think they're getting screwed. They're losing money last year in 2020. No, and that's the thing. Like, I've said that, and I mean, I understand. That's where you get into tricky things, because there are things that I see on both sides that I agree with. Because, like I said, and like what he said in that comment as well, for the middle player, like the average player, your contract has gone down 6% because teams don't want to sign you. Because if you're tanking, you're not going to sign somebody that might actually help you, and if you're good, you're not going to sign somebody that's all right. So their contracts are going down. So they're like, well, we got to fix the tanking because we're getting screwed here. And then the owners are like, bro, we just spent the most money in free agency of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And the free agency isn't even over. And we still got some big names out there.
Shorter, who's in my list.
So they're like, and they're saying like, what do you mean we're not spending money? You see how much money we just spent? And this is on top of us losing money in 2020 because we weren't allowed to have fans. There's things to see, but I don't know. Listen, they're going to meet every day, or hopefully a lot, starting Monday. Hopefully by next Thursday we have a deal, Michael. That's all I can say, because I want the season to start on time, and I would thoroughly enjoy going to some Yankee games this year. Because I'm telling you, thinking about it, I really want to go to opening day. I've never been to an opening day.
Have you really never been to opening day?
I've never been to opening day. I've been to random games throughout the year, but I've never been to an opening day. So I want to go to opening day at Yankee Stadium with all the shenanigans, even though they start their season on the road. So it's not technically, MLB opening day. It's just, but whatever, same thing, same difference. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I want to go. I want to experience it. And I hope it's in April and not in, May. This man Josh and his Pablo Sandoval love is just very odd to me.
It's all right.
You know what? I don't know how. I'm surprised they don't have it. A bet to see if the season would be delayed. We were allowed to bet on the national anthem at the Super Bowl, and you tell me we can't bet on if the season would be delayed? Oh, yeah, Michael, you can bet on anything in the Super Bowl.
That's crazy.
You can bet on the color of the Gatorade that's going to be poured on the coach. You can
really.
You can bet heads or tails. You can bet if the national anthem is going to be over or under a certain length. Like I said, you can bet anything. So, whatever. I don't know, Michael. Lockout, I think we spent enough time on it, and I want to get into something sad again, but also very interesting. And it's the whole Tyler Skaggs situation, the Matt Harvey situation. And it's kind of like a two-pronged thing because I don't know if everybody remembers, but Tyler Skaggs was the Angel pitcher, I believe, I want to say it was an overdose. Uh, in a couple years ago, he was found dead in his hotel. Uh, amazing story that like the Angels the next day went out and pitched a combined no hitter. I don't know if you remember that.
Right.
And then the person that was providing the drugs for him was actually in court. He got found guilty. Actually, a former Angel staffer of providing him, stuff.
Drugs.
Yeah, drugs. And then the other thing that came out of it was the whole like Matt Harvey situation, where he was involved in it a lot as well. Because, I mean, apparently he drew a lot of what's the word I'm looking for here? Well, he drew a lot of comparisons, maybe a little bit, to the '86 Mets, because the '86 Mets, if you remember, craziest team that you'll ever see. I mean, drugs in the locker room, trashing planes. I mean, you had Doc Gooden on there doing cocaine before he would go out and pitch. Well, Matt Harvey was doing the same thing. And
wasn't it a Met player that they busted in his gym bag that had so much?
I think it was I thought it was a Blue Jay.
Are you sure? I really want to say it was a Mets.
I don't think it was a Met player.
Because that was just like, 2 years ago or something like that?
I'll look it up.
Matt Harvey, Josh, not Matt Hardy.
Yeah, Matt Hardy was I went to it was a Cub player.
It was Cubs. That's right.
Yeah, listen, by the way, for the Matt Hardy out there, I went to a nice WWE like house show back in the day when Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy were like feuding with each other. So lit. What a time when I was a kid. Josh, you did not call it. You did not.
He said it was the Cubs.
Yeah, but I said it though.
I mean, I will in Josh's defense on this. As soon as you said it, it popped up over there, and it takes a little while to type. So I would say he probably was actually texting it as you said it. I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
It might be true because the Cubs are like the only team.
It's the only team he knows.
Yeah. Yo, Josh, pop quiz. Let's see. What team is just super random?
And hold up, Josh. Why are you not on Colorcast? Oh, wait. You got an Android, don't you?
He said baseball guy over here. Thank you, Michael. Yeah. Big. Yo, Josh, where are the Diamondbacks from? I want an immediate answer. No Google.
And don't say Phoenix.
I can name every team, he says. Where are the Diamondbacks from, Josh? Let me see this comment.
I gave you a hint there, Josh.
Oh, look at that. Arizona.
Okay. There you go.
Okay.
Here you go. How about the Royals?
Oh, okay, we got a little pop quiz going on in here.
If you get the Royals, you are a baseball guy. As we wait, I feel like we should have some Jeopardy music.
I know.
Do. Oh, he got it.
Kansas City. Okay. I do not believe Josh can name every team. And listen, that's your boy, Josh. He's doubting you.
What would be the toughest one to realize where they were at?
Man, I'm trying to think.
I would say Giants because he's a big football guy. He may get messed up on that. But
he said, I play the show. True. MLB the show, Michael. You look a little confused there.
No, I was really wondering. Oh, he put San Fran. Okay. For the Giants. I was wondering if Josh really played the show. I was waiting for something else to pop up.
No, he did, because I remember on Gen Z we would talk about him playing the show all the time, because apparently it took him forever to get called up to the majors. Not me, though. I was in the majors very early.
Who would have thought? Hey, breaking news from Bleacher Report. Anthony Davis out for at least 4 weeks.
Anthony Davis, what can you say?
Was that not a good nickname for him?
It is. It's perfect. Literally perfect.
Thank you.
You did not come up with that, Michael.
Have you ever heard it before I said it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Michael, there's this beautiful thing called Twitter. That
I mean, listen.
I'm just saying.
I just don't hate on me.
Who said I was hate? But anyway, listen, let's get back.
Harry said that it could be 6 to 8 weeks from Deepak from the group. Or Deepak.
Tupac. No,
He
but
ain't
let's
dead.
see. Federal jury found Los Angeles communications director Eric K guilty of 2 felony counts Thursday, agreeing with the government that he distributed the deadly drug fentanyl and caused the death of Angel pitcher Tyler Skaggs. K won't be sentenced until June 28th, faces a minimum of 20 years in prison. Uh, jury took less than 2 hours to deliberate. And listen, it really is, you
Less than
know,
2 hours. The MLB met for 15 minutes.
and that's a
Sorry,
jury
carry on.
sentencing somebody to life, probably. Um, it really is that cautionary tale, though. And like the thing that and like I said, the thing that I got caught up in was with everything that went on with Matt Harvey because he was doing stuff in the locker room and apparently like he told Terry Collins that he was suicidal and all like a bunch of crazy stuff came out about him. And it's just so wild to me because Michael, do you remember like the whole Dark Knight thing?
I do, yeah. They had the Batman masks and everything going on.
Because like I feel like people outside of New York like don't understand in
Oh
a
no, it was
way.
all over.
No, I know, but like it was huge. Like everybody remembers Linsanity.
Mhm.
I can easily make the argument that it was bigger than Linsanity, very easily. Like
Really?
especially like here, like like there were Yankee fans that would go and watch a Matt Harvey game. I mean, he was like I think he was the first Met pitcher, I want to say, to start an All-Star game like in the home stadium.
Mhm.
Uh I mean, he was he was one of like the main reasons they made the World Series that year. And then obviously they don't take him out in the I believe it was the 8th or ninth inning. He gives up a couple runs and he was really never the same ever since then. But like it's just crazy. Like because I feel like everybody thinks that the athlete's life is just perfect. It's like, oh
Right.
yeah, they're not doing anything. Like why would he be doing drugs or why would he feel suicidal or something like that? But it's like all because and listen, I fall into the same thing where I say, listen, you got a bunch of money, how could you be unhappy? Um, but it shows that it's true because I mean, he literally owned the city.
Oh yeah.
Like it was to the
He was
point
probably like
where
legit not being from New York. He was probably the biggest named pitcher at that time,
oh,
just
absolutely.
because of the character that they made for him.
Oh, absolutely. No, that's not like I mean, you go to a Nick game in New York and you're one of the celebrities, you're up on the screen, whatever, blah, blah, and cheers, woo. I
Mhm.
mean, Matt Harvey would go to Nick games and people would go crazy.
Really?
You had, like, he would go to the clubs or whatever, everything's paid for, and he's hanging out with supermodels, and he's on the cover of, like, the body edition of ESPN magazine, and, like, he owned New York. And that's the other thing, too, for a Met player. Because listen, this isn't some Yankee bias either. The Yankees are the obvious number one team in New
Right.
York, but at that time, no, Matt Harvey was the number one guy. Like it was what he was doing on the field was unbelievable, and then it was just that downturn. And he has a pretty good season. He gets he blows out his elbow. He has Tommy John, and he comes back and they go to the World Series. And Michael, that's the thing too. We always talk about babying pitchers and things like that.
Mhm.
I think pitchers are usually supposed to pitch like 120,
Mhm.
150 innings maybe the year they come back after Tommy John. I think Matt Harvey pitched like 220.
Really?
Like
Oh wow.
like the Mets definitely knew they had a little something here, and they worked him. And Michael, the other crazy part too is like Michael, we did our pitcher list. Where do you rank DeGrom in that pitcher list that we did?
I think I put him 2 or 3 just because where he was hurt and not playing so
All right,
much.
let's pretend that he's healthy. Would you put him number one
If
best
he's
pitcher in
if
the
he
MLB?
plays every game, yeah, he's number one.
Michael, Matt Harvey was Jacob DeGrom times 10 in the eyes of people.
Oh yeah.
Like Matt Harvey was that's the other thing too. We're like, this is how we know we don't really know prospects as well. Like Matt Harvey, Noah Syndergaard, and DeGrom. DeGrom was the third person on that list. Like he was the one that people didn't really care about, and he's the one that ends up being absolutely ridiculous. But I'm trying to let's see if I can find Matt Harvey's stats real quick. All right, so look at this. He pitches. So let's see. He pitches 10 games in 2012 with a 2.73 ERA. 2013, 26 games, 26 starts. He has a 2.27 ERA. He goes, and he's only 9-5 in those games, but whatever, 2.27. The next year, 2015, comes back, pitches 29 games, throws 189 innings or 178. Look at that. Not 20, because he has Tommy John in 2014, I believe. So he misses the 2014 season. All right, perfect. All right, now let me re-explain this. 2013 pitches 178 innings, has a 2.27 ERA, and does great. All-star that year. Fourth in the Cy Young, it says as well. 2014, he blows out his elbow, right? 2015, Michael, I just said, after Tommy John, he pitches 189 innings. It was the most of his career. Craziest part is 2.71 ERA. Did great.
Oh, wow.
Did absolutely wonderful that year. And then you look at the rest of his career. So 2.73, 2.27, 2.71 were his ERAs his first, 3 full healthy years. 4.86, 6.7, 4.9, a 7, 4.5, 7, 11, 6.2. He was never the same. And it was that year he comes back from Tommy John. How do you pitch a guy 180 innings? And I don't think that includes the playoffs because they made the playoffs that year. Right. They went to the World Series that year, I believe.
Now, I remember the Dark Knight and the signs and everything. But was he a fastball pitcher or was he more of
yeah.
Okay.
No,
who was the trash thrower? The knuckler? Dickey. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Because let's see. The Mets in 2015 went 90-72, finished first in the NL East, and lost to the Royals in the World Series. So, they made a run. Wow, Matt Harvey, Jacob deGrom was on that team. Why did I not know that? Oh, Ed Syndergaard was on that team. Damn, a 22-year-old Syndergaard, a 27-year-old deGrom, and a 26-year-old Harvey. Imagine if they all just stayed healthy. I don't know, but I thought his story was very interesting.
It makes you wonder when the drugs were going on, how long they were in his career, if that didn't play a part in a lot of how his career ended.
Oh no, it does because
he's still.
It does because Doc Gooden came out, who, like I said, was on the '86 Mets, was known for. He missed the parade because he was at his dealer's house asleep.
Right. Crazy.
No, still one of the craziest stories I've ever heard in my life. But he said it ruins your career. It breaks your muscles down. You can't recover. You can't get stronger. So I don't know, but I thought that entire story was crazy. From Skaggs, obviously RIP, because he was doing his thing in the majors. That was kind of a shocking thing when that came out. And then, like I said, the Angels go and pitch a combined no-hitter like a week later or something on Tyler Skaggs' day. And then you have all this come out because, it's unbelievable to think that Harvey was at the top of his game. He was doing all this stuff too. This is on top of, all the partying and the owning the New York City. Like I said,
could you just imagine if they, like you said, if they all stayed healthy, if they didn't do the drugs, we would have been talking about Mets more than we would have been talking about Yankees for a decade.
It's possible. You would have had a starting 3 rotation of Matt Harvey, Jacob deGrom, and Noah Syndergaard.
Mm-hmm.
Because Syndergaard
3
lost
aces.
Yeah, because Syndergaard lost a little too after he had the Tommy John. And I think he's
Right.
missed like 2 years. He pitched like 4 innings this year,
Right.
like the last 2 games of the season or something like that. But I mean, they had something. Like I said, they went to the World Series. You can't be bad and go to the World Series.
Just makes you think, man. Doesn't matter how good you have it or how big of a level you are or low of a level you're on. We all have problems, and guys and gals out there, just real quick, I know this is kind of random, but if you mental health, anything like that, if you need help, seek help. Don't be too proud or too stubborn to look for something.
Facts.
This man really lost his career, even though he's still pitching, because of drugs. I mean, he was on top of the game. He was the Dark Knight.
He was the city, bro. That's not like,
and not only that, it was the New York City. It's not
Yeah.
like it's Cincinnati. It's not like it's, I don't know, San Diego even, but they're kind of big. But I'm trying to think of those, Cleveland or anything like that. But it was New York that he owned. He was Spider-Man. He was the Dark Knight.
No, when you do something in New York, it just hits a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, listen, love Derek Jeter's on my wall. If he wins 5 World Series rings in Kansas City, you think he's the same player?
No, I don't.
Exactly.
I mean, obviously he's good, but
you do it in the bright lights of New York City. You probably have about 40 nationally televised games a year. It's just a different animal. I mean, that's why some people aren't built for it.
I think Mike Trout, of a player like he is, obviously he would be a Jeter if the other or the Kansas City won those. So the names would be big too,
right?
He wouldn't be at the Derek Jeter.
That's what I'm saying. Like, would you if,
as Perry said, yes?
Like, if Trout had the exact same career he's having right now, but in the city, but with the Yankees, you think more people would know who he was?
I think so, and I also think they might have already tried to push him out because he's missed so much.
No,
you don't think so?
No.
You tried to get rid, or y'all are turning on Jeter.
We aren't turning on Jeter. Who's turning on Jeter? Nobody in New York has ever turned on Jeter.
I thought.
Actually, I lied. No. We did.
Okay.
Him. No.
Okay.
Did. Well, listen. I think Jeter went like 0 for 20 at one point. They booed him. It happens. Listen, we're very passionate over here. We booed Mariano Rivera for 2 blown saves in a row, as if he didn't clinch us like 3 World Series in a row.
two in a row. Man, I went to a game once with
those 5 World Series rings just didn't do it for us. Those 2 blown saves, too much.
But
disgusting.
Danny Graves was there, and he's there, I think, closing or saves leader. And man, he cussed a fan out on his way out, but he sucked that game. Like, I mean, he threw like 3 straight walks and a home run. I mean, it was ridiculous, and he was cussing and flipping everybody off. I was like, yeah, this dude's done. But felt bad for him because, he's our saves leader. But it was time for him to go.
It was time.
Speaking of time for him to
go. I was going to say, it might be time for us to head out as well. Listen, people. Hopefully we can come back next week. The lockout will be ended. We'll be able to look up MLB stats and not see silhouettes of people. It'll actually be the players. But listen, until then, we can only hope, Michael. I hope that you'll tell everybody where they can find you.
They can find me, Backstop Banter, right here where we are on Twitter. But you can also type in MD Lawson00 on pretty much any social media, and you will find me. Any social medias that you do find me, you can actually, Underdog Blog just started following me on Twitter. How about that? You can find me
Underdog Fantasy.
On my bio. We'll have all my link tree there. Go check all that stuff out. And also on Saturday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, I've got my co-host Nick with me, where we will bring you Count the Bucket as I'm watching the Heat and Hornets game right now. They just ended in double overtime, 111-107. So Heat is the best team in the East. To me,
until Ben Simmons comes back to the Nets.
I actually do like that Nets with Simmons on there.
I love it. Can't wait to watch it. I get to watch all of those games on Yes. Yankees Entertainment.
Before we leave, when do you start your new job?
Michael, I wish I knew.
Oh, okay. Never
At the
mind.
end of the interview, he told me he had to send me some paperwork to fill out and stuff like that. I didn't get it, so I emailed him.
Mhm.
I was like, "Hey, I did get it, right?" And he was like, "Nah, yeah, like we just
Oh,
haven't
yeah.
gotten the." He was like, "We just haven't gotten the paperwork yet." So
No,
like,
yeah, you got it.
he's like,
That's like I'm sweating bullets right now, man. I got a ticket about 3 weeks ago and
"A
sent an
ticket?
email. Yeah, I got a ticket, and
Come on,
he called to try to get out of the ticket because it's in the next county over, and they're like, well, you need to email like some of this stuff here so we can prove
are you
this.
speeding, Michael?"
I was, but
Unbelievable.
it was
What were we
more
doing? What were we doing?
70 and a 55,
That's
but
doable.
yeah. But anyways, so the lady on the phone was like, "Here's my email address. You can, take a picture of your insurance and stuff like that, send it all over, and then we'll talk on that later." So I emailed her a couple of days ago, and I never got a response. Like I'm afraid it's going to go past my court date and be like, you know what? Hey, you're arrested.
Well,
Oh,
Michael, if you don't get an email
okay.
back, I would advise you to go to the court date, buddy.
Yeah, I think so. Actually, I may just call and be like, "Hey, making sure we're all good here." Because I
Well,
don't
let me
think I
tell you,
just
Michael,
play ignorance on this
I
guy.
just cleaned my glasses.
And I look sharp now. Thanks.
Nah, but I can see so much better.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Glasses really are a struggle. I kind of want to get LASIK, but I'm way too scared for that.
I will follow big underdog brand. Oh, I'm sorry. It says big underdog. I don't know if that's your guys or not.
No, no, no. We're underdog fantasy, baby.
Okay.
Anyway, for me, you can follow me Anthony Conover underscore over there on Twitter for all of the things that I do. Mondays, 7 Eastern Generational Sports, which you can also go follow right there. That I do with Josh, who was in the comments earlier today. Thank you, my brother. Yeah, we talk about everything. MMA, NBA, NFL, even though the season's over. Also, Tuesdays, I do the hard count with me and my guy CJ. We're taking a little bit of a break, but don't worry, people. We're gonna have some people fill in for us, maybe get some new blood
Nice.
over there on the show. We're
Taking
trying
a
to give
vacay.
everybody, yeah, a couple weeks off of me and CJ, recharge the battery, Michael. Listen, let me
As you
tell you
do
something.
other shows.
Listen, I would take off from my other shows too, but
No,
I
you
don't
can't do
know.
that.
Exactly my point. Um, and then obviously we do this every Thursday at 9 Eastern, people. So let's wait, what was I going to say? So make sure you follow me, Anthony Conover underscore A Conover USN over there on Colored Cast, Anthony underscore Conover on Twitch, where I put all the pods as well. Listen, all those shows I just said as well, Generational Sports, The Hard Count, Backside Banter. It's a podcast, people, available everywhere.
Yes.
iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcast, or whatever the hell it is. Listen, if you can listen to a podcast, we're probably there. So, with that being said, I appreciate everybody for tuning in the show. I know Michael does as well. And listen, people, we'll see you next week. And hopefully, I'll get to change the title from bad news to good news. But until then,